what we have and what we have canceled, that's a good place to check. So in your child's pose, spread out your fingertips nice and wide. Let your hips settle down towards your heels. Take a deep breath in. Fill yourself all the way up. And exhale it out. Yeah, another deep breath in. Fill up your chest. Expand your upper back. And then a big exhale out. Come on in, Paige. One more like that. Fill up all the way. Exhale all the way. And start building your Ujjayi breath right from the start. Let your body soften. Let the breath build heat from the inside out so that you have more space to move and shift and bend and twist and all of that good stuff. Downward facing dog. Keep building your breath. You can pedal out your feet. Move around in any way that you need to get your down dog exactly where it needs to be in this moment. So it may not be the down dog that you're taking 20 minutes from now, but for right now, okay, this is where my fingers need to be. I'm placing my feet on purpose. And walk your feet up to your hands and hang in ragdoll. You can let your arms hang or make a box with your arms, but pull the pit of your belly way in and up so you can round your low back and stretch your low back in the middle of your back up toward the ceiling. And press into your feet. Rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips. Bring your thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for practice. One specific thing to stay focused on. We'll send out those intentions with 3 big ohms. Deep inhale. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, long flat back, high to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Push the air back out. 2 more. Breathe in. Big exhale. Good. Last one. Push all the air back out. Look forward and move. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain. Rise up. Stretch the sides of your body. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Push the air back out. Like you're clearing space. Breath in. Big breath out. Last one. Empty to the pit of your belly. Look forward and jump to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain. Long inhale. Up to your fingertips. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Plant your fingertips in the mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 big breaths in. Push the air out. Good. 2 more. In. Big exhale. Last one. Empty completely. Look forward. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Bow down. 1 more sunny. Rise up to standing and reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Press your fingers down on your exhale. Yeah, reconnect. Big breath in. Chest to your thighs on your exhale. Nice, Nanette. 1 more. Empty completely to the pit of your belly. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Fold down. Chair pose for 1 breath. Reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Keep building that breath. Pose by pose. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing. Right side warrior 1. You've got 1 breath to reach all the way up to your fingertips. Low push up on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one. Step, plug in, reach high. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Breathe in together. Empty it out. Good. 2 more. In, air out. Last one. Get empty. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Full breath in. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. You got it. Press the whole inhale as you go up, up, up. Chaturanga on the exhale. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior one. Press your big toe mounds into the floor. Low push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Exhale. Yeah, you can do it through your mouth if you need that. In, empty out. One more. Push all the air back out. Look forward and move. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Bow down. Chair pose. Nice and deep in your hips. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior. Step through. Plug in and lift. Beautiful. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior one. Feet in the mat. Low push up. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Exhale it out. Eyes right on one spot. Breathe in. Breath out. Last one together. Empty completely. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Fold down. Chair pose. Down and back further in the hips. Fold. Halfway lift. Low push up. If you're jumping back, it's straight to low plank. Upward facing. Down dog. Warrior one on the right. Step and lift your chest up to the ceiling. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior. Press, lift, chest high up to the ceiling. Good. Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale down. Full breath in. Push the air out. Yeah, there it is. 2 more. In. Exhale. Last one. Push all the air back out. Jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold down. Last sun B. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one on the right. Deepest lunge you can do on this side. Nice, Kristen. Chaturanga. If I parallel with that mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Step it through. Commit to the lunge and stretch up. Low push up. Big breath in up dog. Empty and downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Clear it out. 2 more. In. Get empty. Yeah, 1 more. Push the air back out. Send your right leg up to the sky. Keep the rhythm of the breath going. It sounds amazing. Open your hip. Stay here in 3-legged or flip your dog. Go all the way over. Steady, rhythmic breath. That's your focus for this entire hour that you're spending on your mat, giving the attention the breath needs to fully express each pose. Flip back over, side plank. Left hand straight up to the sky. Breath here. No matter what variation of the pose you take, great, and then have breath there to accompany the pose. Now spread out your fingertips on your top hand. Yes, wake up the fingertips. 1 more breath together. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. Stay or flip dog. Whole way, right? Breath that's powerful enough and purposeful enough that the people practicing next to you can hear it. Those practicing at home can hear it. Yeah, even people in the future hearing this recording, practicing at home, will hear your breathing now. Flip back over side plank. So then there's a ripple effect. You're not only responsible for yourself on your mat, but you're impacting everyone else that's practicing in the moment and that's practicing in the future. One more breath. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take one breath in together. Clear it all out. Right side crescent lunge. Step your right foot between your hands. You can start with hands on your hips or hands up in the air right away, but really connect the ball mound of your back foot into the ground. Some of you can take up a little more space front to back. Let your front foot inch forward. Yeah, so you can stack your back heel over the ball of your back foot. Nice, Scotty. Stay powerful in your legs. Hands to heart center. Twist right. Anchor the elbow just outside your knee, and you can keep your palms together or open up your arms. How's your breathing here? Even while you twist, there's room for breath to happen in the top part of your chest and the upper part of your back. Good adjustments. One more inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Get complete. Then warrior two. Face the other way. Deep lunge in your warrior two legs. You may need to heel toe that front foot over so it's in line with your back arch. Then come down deep into your lunge. Yeah, out of the space that feels comfortable and into the space where you have to engage leg muscle into leg bone. Extended side angle, elbow to thigh or fingertips by your front arch. Recommit to the lunge in your front leg, knee right on top of your ankle. Yes, good adjustments. Then stay here or at a bind. Top arm behind your back, maybe the bottom arm underneath your thigh for the full bind. Everybody lift the front of your pelvis up toward your belly button. Squeeze it in and up. Yes. One more inhale here. Chaturanga, hands to the mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. One breath in. Push the air back out. Left side crescent. Step through. Take up lots of space. So if the base feels unstable, you can take it longer and wider, and that'll give you more surface area. Hands up to the ceiling. Even the pinky toe on the back foot, straight down into the mat. Stable and strong. Hands to heart center, twist left. Anchor the elbow, stick with palms touching, fingertips touching, or arms wide apart. Either way, bring your hands and your fingertips into the pose. So if they're touching, press them together on purpose. If they're open, spread them nice and wide. Nice, Chuck. One more breath here. Complete the exhale, then warrior two. It's really that squeezing out of the air on the exhale in a twist that springs you up and over into the next pose. Deep lunge in your front leg. Extended side angle. And right back into the breathing, intentional and on purpose. All of your attention on that first and foremost, regardless of what the physical pose looks like. Take your, if you haven't already. Some of you chose to reach both arms forward past the front edge of your mat on the other side. That's a great option as well. And then once you've made your choice, your full expression, lift the front of your pelvis up towards your belly button. Pull it in and up. One more breath here. Chaturanga. Big breath in up dog. Fill up. Downward facing dog. Press back. Take a deep breath in together. Sigh it out. Yeah, even more noise than that. Breath in and clear it. Yeah, you're midweek. One more. Push all the air back out. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. Pear pose. Down and back. Tailbone straight to the back edge of your mat so you can literally feel your low back expanding and stretching open. Hands to heart center. Twist right. Spread your arms apart. Bottom arm can go between your knees or on the outside of your knee. Now everybody sit your hips 2 inches deeper. Yes, and chest lifts 2 inches higher. Beautiful. Stay here for 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Fold. First 2 fingers around your big toes. Yeah, bend your knees as much as you'd like. Take your gaze to the back edge of your mat so your head can be nice and easy, along back of your neck. Release your grip. Crow pose from the head of your mat. Spread out your fingers super wide for the first crow. Maybe it's Scottish squat with your feet on the floor and your elbows inside your knees. Crows, take your gaze right out in front of your fingertips so you're shifting forward in space rather than straight down. Yes, now squeeze your inner thighs together. Hug them into the sides of your arms for one more breath. Step or jump, low push-up. Nice. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Empty it out. Move forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. Chair pose. Down and back. Make the space for your low back by pulling the pit of your belly in and sending your tailbone to the back edge of your mat. Hands to heart twist left. Spread your arms wide. You choose where the bottom arm goes and then send your heart right up to the surface of your chest. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chair. Fold. Gorilla. Step on your palms, toes all the way up to your wrists. I took Grace's class this morning, and instead of saying toes to your wrist, she said fingers to your heels. And I was like, ooh, let's see if we can make that happen. So maybe your fingers are long enough for that. Maybe they're not, but the intention of stretching them back under your feet to open up your wrists. Release your hands. Crow number 2. You can take this one upside down if you'd like to take an inversion or work on traditional crow. A lot of you have been playing around with jumping back from your crow pose, so that's always there as an option as well. And know that jumping back and having it be messy or kind of a belly flop or your knees hitting the ground at first is part of the process. It's got to look a little messy before it looks clean and your legs just shoot right back. Beautiful. Those of you going upside down, keep your elbows in towards center. Point them at 90 degrees to the back edge of your mat. Good. One more breath. Step or jump. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in together. Exhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Empty out. Last one. Clear all the space. Move forward. Halfway lift. Bow down. Rise all the way up to standing. Eagle pose, right side. Right arm under, right leg over. Breath here, right from the beginning of the balancing sequence. Set your breath. Follow it with your gaze, right on one point. Keep the gaze locked. Left side eagle, left arm under, left leg over. Skin to muscle to bone on your legs. Wrap them around one another. Nice, Erica. I saw that. Right side eagle, second set. A lot of times it can be tempting to make a huge adjustment to make the pose completely different. And really, it's just those micro movements that make the pose awake in the moment. So yeah, you may have taken eagle pose hundreds, maybe even thousands of times, but right now, what's the adjustment that will make a difference? Switch sides. One more eagle. It's the same thing that happens as we make our way towards the end of the year and New Year's resolutions are around the corner and you're like, I'm going to pick something really huge. Yeah, and you can do that and maybe also pick something smaller. That's something that can happen every day. Something you can change in one pose every time you're on your mat. Standing leg raise, right side. Grab a hold of your right raised knee or your extended right foot. Towel or a strap around the foot is always a good option in this pose. Pause here and center to get your hips level. Super common for the right hip to hitch its way up because you're holding onto the leg. Yeah, good adjustments. Let it stay level. Open the leg to the right, reach and look left. So if you notice that the hip starts to ride up a bit as you take it out to the side, see if you can level it back out and do the best you can to keep the leg open to the side. Nice. Make your way back to center. Take airplane. Press the foot straight back. Reach your arms straight back. Level out the hips here. Most often, it's the right hip that needs to turn down towards the floor. Good adjustments. So the hips are nice and square. Standing splits. Walk your hands down your standing leg to the floor or to your standing ankle. So you've got a couple of options here. The floor is going to be there no matter what. You can put one hand or both on your ankle or have both hands on a block. Yes, now flex your lifted ankle a lot to float that leg up to the ceiling. Good, one more breath. Lift up, up, up. Both feet to the mat. Rise up to standing. Standing leg raise, left side. Grab your knee or the lifted foot. Back into the breathing, even as you set up the pose. And then your attention on the hip, the left hip level with the right. Yeah, it might feel like you're almost leaning forward a little bit, but you can pull the shoulder onto the back side of your body and adjust there too. Open left, reach and look right. Attention on the hip. Resist the urge to lean way out to the side to counterbalance the leg and level out the hips instead. Good work. Come back to center. Airplane. Super long. Out through the lifted heel, out through the front of your chest. Pull those 2 points apart from one another. Like you've got something to touch with your lifted foot. You're going to press into it. Let it give you some feedback. Keep that leg super active. Then standing splits. Hands to the ankle or the floor. And even if you want to play around with grabbing the ankle for half a second, your hand's going to go back to the floor if you get a little wobbly. Yeah, because the floor is going to be there. One more big inhale. Lift both feet to the floor. Rise up to standing. Standing bow or dancer's pose, right side. Soft crease of your elbow faces out for the standing bow, so your thumb will be pointing straight back. Take your pose. Steady, rhythmic breath through the whole transition, setting up the pose all the way up to the peak of this back bend, the peak of this balancing pose. Nice. One more inhale. Get big. Switch sides. Standing bow or dancer on the left. Crease of the elbow to the outside. You got it. How's your breathing here? So a lot of things to consider when you're taking the pose. And can you put your breath first and foremost, and then start your attention on the rest of the pieces that you're working on? One more inhale. Right side, second set. Attention on breath more than anything else. Loud enough that the person next to you can hear you. And if you're practicing at home, the person closest to the space you're practicing in can hear you. It's filling the space not only on your mat, but around the mat and in the room. Switch sides. Last one. Steady breathing. Let your neighbor hear you. Let that connection happen, regardless of what the pose looks like, the connection of breath happening. Last inhale. Feet to the mat. Tree pose, right side. Hands start at heart center. Yeah, lots of different leg variations. You choose the one that works best for you in the moment. Then interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, hands up to the ceiling. So you may find that if you've got tighter shoulders like I do, your shoulders ride up towards your ears. Bend your elbows a little bit so your shoulders can drop back down your back. Yeah, give yourself some space. Now knit your ribs together with your hands up high. Yes. One more inhale, get tall. Switch sides, left side tree. Hands start at your heart. Interlace the fingers the opposite way, the way that feels a little wonky. Palms forward and up to the ceiling. Yeah, I know. It's like, wait a minute, how did I have my fingers last time? Whichever way you think is opposite, that's the right one. Hands up to the ceiling. Ribs together in the front. Last breath in, lift. Both feet to the mat. Come up to the head of your mat if you're not there already. Extended mountain. Reach up to the ceiling. Forward fold on your exhale. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, step or jump back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Step your right foot between your hands. Lots of space. Your whole mat even. Whole mat worth of space between your feet. How's your breathing from here? Should be more room now that we're this far into your practice. The lungs are more pliable. The chest and the back are more open. Press into both feet equally, especially the outer edge of that back foot. Rise all the way to stand. Side facing wide leg fold. Turn both feet to face the long edge of your mat and hinge at your hips. You've got two options here this afternoon. You can take an inversion or take ninja lunges side to side. So if you're taking the lunges, you'll bend your right knee and sink into your right hip, and then over to the left side into the left hip. Paige, squeeze your elbows closer together, and then your legs will go straight up. Nice, Megan. Flex your ankles. Good. Beautiful, Erica. Ribs in together in front. Yes. Headstands can make their way down. If you're taking lunges, get complete and then find your way to center. Rise up to stand. Namaste front facing forward fold or splits, your choice. If you're taking the namaste fold, make sure you've got enough room between your feet that you're going to feel a stretch in the back of your hamstring before you fold forward. Hinge at your hips. Yeah, I'm giving you the option with the hands in this namaste fold. So some will like to take the bind behind your back. Some of you have your hands on your hips to help guide your hip creases deep into your body. All of those are the right answer. And if there's not a lot of sensation happening in the backs of your legs, you can always take a longer or wider stance and adjust the pose. Twisting triangle or twisting splits. Left hand down, right arm out, and then up toward the ceiling. A block is super helpful in the twisting triangle here, but it's also super helpful in the splits, bringing the floor up to you. Take one more breath together. Stay for the exhale. Get complete high to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take one breath in. Clear it all out. Left side triangle. Step your left foot forward. Create a long, wide base, the whole length of your mat. Block for that bottom hand or your shin for the bottom hand. Maybe your hands all the way down towards the floor. Steady rhythmic breath. It can be easy to put so much attention on what's happening physically in the body that the attention falls away from the breath, but I invite you to keep coming back to it. Set up the pose as best you can and then recommit to the breath. Press into the feet to rise to stand. Side facing wide leg fold with a bind on this one. So either clasp your hands at your low back or put a towel or strap between your hands. Long, steady breaths here. As we get into the colder months of the year and shoulders tend to get a little tighter, it takes a little longer in your practice to get things warmed up in your shoulders. Let this stretch open that space. Let it open the fronts of your shoulders. Maybe you feel that even into your pecs on the front of your chest. Maybe even the bind is giving you a stretch in your upper arms because that space is tight for you. Release your hands down, rise up to standing. Namaste front facing or splits facing the front edge of your mat. You decide the hand position for those namaste folds and hinge down. It's always good to take an opportunity to try a different hand position or a slightly different foot position to give you something else to look at, like having a curiosity in the pose. Like maybe you always avoid the bind because you've got tight wrists, but the wrists are never going to get more open if you never take the bind. Twisting triangle or twisting split. Left arm out to the side. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Whether you're twisted, you're in the split and you're wringing things out, shoulder blades together. One more big breath. Full exhale out. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big breath in together. Clear it out. 2 more like that. In, empty. Last one. Push the air back out. Roll out to a high plank. Shoulders stacked right on top of your wrists. And strengthen your legs. Squeeze skin to muscle to bone on your legs. We're going to hold this plank so you can keep the full plank or drop your knees and keep the plank in your upper body. You're here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower to the mat. Locust pose is next. Hands back by your hips. Palms face the floor. For the first one, press the tops of your feet into the mat. Don't let them lift off the mat. Press them into the ground so even your pinky toes can touch the floor. Yes. Now lift your chest, your shoulders, your arms can come up. Press the feet down into the mat. I know, counterintuitive. Keep pressing enough that maybe your knees, maybe even the bottom of your thighs come up and away from the floor. Lower down. Rock out the hips left and right. Second set of locusts. Start with the tops of the feet on the floor. Press them down. Each toe down on the mat. Rise up. Shoulder blades together on your back. Get that situated. Then you can stick with feet on the floor. Let them come up and away from the floor. So they're not going to come up very high to maintain that long space you've made in your body. Beautiful. Big inhale. Stretch. Lower down. Hips side to side. Floor bow number 1. Bend your knees, grab your ankles. You can grab the inside or the outside of your ankles, but if you're grabbing the inside, you want your thumbs to face up toward the ceiling. Thumbs up to the ceiling if you're grabbing the inside of your ankles. Rise up. Press with your shins. Keep that long line in your spine by sending your knees straight to the back of the room. Good adjustments. One more inhale. Lift. Lower down. Legs side to side, hips side to side. Second set, floor bow, rise up. You got it. You're building the momentum in the space that you need to hit the peak pose of the sequence. You're almost there. Flex your ankles and spread your toes. Yes. Beautiful. Last breath. Lower down. Take it side to side. Plant your palms by your low ribs. Upward facing dog. Rise up off the mat. Downward facing dog. Press back. Lower your knees for 1 camel. You can have your hands on the backs of your hips or prep them to slide them down towards your heels, but lift your chest up to the ceiling to start. Focus on the line in the front side of your body. So root your knees down into the mat and let the front line of the body stretch all the way up to your chin. Super long. Nice. How's your breath here? This is a tough one for breathing. Yeah, I know. It might just be an exhale through your mouth so you can hit the reset button. On your next inhale, rise up and out of the pose. Swing your legs around, set up for bridge pose. Come down onto your back. You got it. Bridge is exactly like camel. You're just orienting the body differently to gravity. So back on the floor, feet on the floor. Rise up. You can clasp your hands underneath you or take cactus arms here and press your arms down that way. Big toe mounds straight into the mat. Big, powerful breaths. Intentional breathing all the way through the peak of the sequence. One more inhale. Lower your hips, knees side to side. You can stick with bridge or move on to wheel. Wheel number one, you'll tuck your fingertips under your shoulders, press the palms into the mat and rise up. Yes, big and open, lots of wide space. Then tuck your chin and come down. Full breath in, full breath out. Number two, press, lift, go. Bridge or wheel, you go up and away from the mat. So it doesn't matter what you're choosing. It matters that you choose and take the pose. Come on down. Breathe in. Clear it out. Number three, bridge or wheel. Rise up. You got it. Eyes set. Breath moving in and out of your body. Lower down. Breath in. Breath out. Number four, rise up. You just commit. Choose the pose and go. Feet in the mat. Come on down. Breath in together. Breath out together. Number five, you've only got two more. Press and go. And if you're staying up, what's there that's to discover? What's new to discover while you're up? If not, come on down. Breath in. Clear it out. Last one, yogis. Last one. Bridge pose, wheel pose, go up. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Eyes stay open. Let your hands land wherever they're going to land. And then lucky you all, we're co-teaching tonight, so Chuck's going to take over after this Supta Baddha.
This is a nice, relaxing Supta Baddha Konasana. Okay, lift your legs 90 degrees. I'm sorry, lift your legs with your feet to the ceiling. Or did I forget something? Happy baby or dead bug. I knew there was a transition pose. Now bring your legs back to center, feet to the ceiling. Scissor legs, lower your right leg to the hover. And on your exhale, switch. 20, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet back up to the ceiling. 60-30 lifts. On your exhale, lower your legs 30 degrees. 60 degrees. Hover. And flutter kick to make it interesting. Legs back up. On your exhale, lower your legs 30 degrees. 60 degrees. Hover. Flutter kicks or pendulums. Bring your legs back up. One more time. On your exhale, lower your legs 30 degrees. 60 degrees. Bring your feet to hover. Pendulums, flutter kicks, or any other foot movement you prefer. Bring your feet back up to the ceiling and draw your knees into your chest. Bring your shins 90 degrees. Abdominal twists. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rock back and forth 3 times and then come up into boat pose. Rock back and forth and then come back into downward facing dog. Half pigeon right side. Bring your right thigh parallel to the mat. This is also a great pose to take on your back. Swing your left leg around for double pigeon. You can use a block under your leg to support your leg. Downward facing dog. Bring your left leg forward for half pigeon left side. Swing your right leg around for a double pigeon on the left side. Carefully unpressure yourself and take frog pose. Or wide leg seated forward fold. And if you're using the wall, try and make sure that your feet are set at 90 degrees. Gently come out of frog pose and bring your right leg around on your mat for seated single leg extension, right side. Bend your knee as much as you need to. Seated single leg extension, left side. Seated forward fold. Hinge at your hips, bend your knees as much as you need to in order to be able to reach your toes. Release, tabletop. Bring your hands facing forward, facing your heels, and lift up. Fish pose. Lower down and bring a block to the center of your back. Lean back to open your chest. And release. Headstand or handstand or shoulder stand or legs up the wall, waterfall pose. your shoulders stand, drop back for plow pose. Unhearing yogi, bring your feet to your ears. And slowly release. Roll down on your spine, one vertebra at a time. Bring your knees to your chest. And then take supine twist to the right. Lower your knees to the right and look left with your arms at a T. Supine twist to the left. Bring your knees back to center and then drop them to the left and look right. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring your feet together and let your knees fall out to the side. There's a cold eye cloth on your mat. Savasana. Thank you.
Deepen your breath. Bring some movement back to your hands and your feet. And plant your feet on the floor and rock onto your right side. With your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. We'll finish our practice together with 3 final ohms. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much coming into the studio, signing in online, and making a nice, sweaty November practice happen. Namaste. Good work, everybody. And good work, Chuck, doing a whole last third of the class. Good work. All right, if anybody has any questions about holiday schedule, things we've got coming up, the Extra Give is on Friday. So if you're planning on attending that, it's downtown in Lancaster, and pretty much the entire city shuts down for that. I will be up at the front desk, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow at 5:45.